Cancer, we are here to do your December read, and there will be one for the bloopers bin, and that's because earlier I was doing the Cancer video but had to stop it because something funny happened, but you can go ahead and watch that. I think I might actually create a whole folder around bloopers because as a recorder, you know, recordings and things to that degree, various comical things happen in the background, so I'll share them with you. Regardless, I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. I cover the astrology, the moon transits, give you spiritual tools. So if you are landing here new to the channel, a very warm welcome. During the silly season, yes, I do emergency bookings as per request, and there will also be the calendar open on my website. So if you want to go to that and you need a personal reading, I also work as a medium. So if you want to channel your loved ones or you're stuck in an area and need spiritual work to do with spiritual blockages, I work on that too. So have a look at some of the videos if you are new. For those of you who are loyal subscribers, welcome back. And yes, I finally got the 12 zodiac signs done. Now, for you guys, Cancer, I've pulled your cards ahead of time and I'm using native spirit cards as well as the chakra cards and clarifiers. Now, I'm doing this deeply intuitive and I'm trying to a degree, I will mention, you know, with the cards coming through with the chakras, I can link them in with the planets, but I'll try and keep the planet energies very separate. And during the moon videos, I do actually discuss, you know, what house is going to be affected for you. Now, I heard a song before I started recording your video and I thought, oh, that's an interesting song. And it's the Tina Turner song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Now, I'll explain the reasons why that song's come through, because I got a few downloads when I was working through the energies and looking at them. I do feel there's a lot of projection coming towards you, you know, and as a moon sign, governed by the moon, which is deeply intuitive, be it you're male or female, you are connected with your emotions. You're connected with other people. You understand how they feel empathically. You also create healthy boundaries when need be, but sometimes it can come to the detriment to your health. Now, with your crowning energy card, something has ended, but something hasn't, okay? And I do feel because of all the eclipses, it's deeply unique that this is occurring. You got shadow self in reverse. So this potentially might be something coming back. And we're having eclipses in January. Now, I do believe they're in the sign of Cancer. We've got the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, and your shadow sign's Capricorn. So at a level, you have moved through 2018, deeply moving towards accountability, you know, and trying to rectify foundational related situations, your work domain, your finances, your paperwork, your family, but really being pulled in two very alternate directions. And I have said that this year hasn't felt like a super romantic year. It's been because of the subject matters coming up, not because there's no romance. So it has been a time frame of where individuals collectively have had to be very singular to a degree, very non-codependent, because there has been too much going on. It's not because there's no emotion there. And that's why probably the song is coming through, but as messages come through, I will explain them to you with my downloads. The energy of 12th house is being activated collectively. So when I say 12th house, it is to do with our intuition, our subconscious mind, our psychic gifts, our aha moments. With shadow self being the crowning energy, something from the past is going to come back between now and January. Now, this can be connected to a family-related dynamic or a work-related dynamic, but I'm feeling for much of you, I will clarify, it'll be in one of those areas. Something potentially that you thought you had dealt with, and it's a past tense scenario. You dealt with it, but this other individuals have not, and there's sorrow in reverse. Because somehow there's a detachment that you're taking. I'm sorry, I keep bouncing the camera. There's a detachment that you've taken, and it's a standpoint that you've taken. And the people directly around the situation are perceiving it in a different way. Now, this can be connected to another water sign. This can be connected to also, how do I put it, an immature energy. So there's reflection on a person, on your life. There's also a loved one, which has been consistently through all the reads this month, which is the first time it's ever happened. I don't know why, but between now and January, you have a lot of loved ones on the other side really protecting us, okay? For those of you who have been doing work, you've been trying to keep your energy in your highest vibration, meaning you're doing things to get the best out of a situation, you're doing it with pure intent. Your loved ones are helping you, okay? They're spiritually guiding you. They're understanding of your emotions. You're reflecting back on your deep emotions that you've been through, right? The troubled waters, how at times you felt like that was never going to change, how you felt it was your fault somehow subconsciously, especially with shadow self in reverse. I feel you've done the work in that area. And I do feel you're reaching a close coming through December where you understand you've done the best you can. Some of these situations have ended up being totally opposite to the way you thought it would be. But emotionally speaking, it still does bring up these emotional things. So some things that you thought you dealt with at an emotional level might come back up in the next 2 months. But I do feel for many of you, it's connected to these people, places, and things where it's coming back. So it might unhash that old wound. Yeah, I'm going to pull a clarifier on that one. At the heart of your read, you've got owl medicine. And again, an owl is deeply nocturnal. It's also deeply intuitive. It's 12th house. It's ironic that it's come up in your sign because being a Cancerian, you guys are governed by the moon and also by your intuition. Now, this is at the heart of the read. Now, back to the clarifier. With these emotions coming up, people may have wanted you to be something you weren't, and you weren't able to be that for them because you needed to be that for you. Now, there is an energy of a person who hasn't passed over, but potentially in your mind, they weren't there for you. And this can be a male energy. This could be a love interest. It could be a parent figure. It could be a brother, whoever this person is. It's what caused you to be where you are energetically, mentally, spiritually. And this could have been one person, or it could have been various people. But these emotions have come back up again. But I do feel energetically it's another person wishing you to be something that you were unable to be for them because they potentially weren't looking at this correctly. This could be connected to a past tense connection and children. But you're wanting a new start. You're wanting a fresh start, and this person has a perspective of what that new start should be. Now, the owl medicine. What is this in relation to? Oh, no, too many. I think it's a deeply reflective time for you, and I think you're just going to be quite stumped. I mean, the look on the owl is almost, I see your perspective, but it's not my truth because it's come to an end. It's really understanding that, you know, the healing potentially, a situation's over, but the healing now is beginning. But it's over because you have healed from it, and this person might be trying to resurrect this situation because this is the general part of the reading. We're already getting into it. Now, again, I keep feeling it's connected to a past tense family, a past tense group. This could be at work. This can also be a separation that you had. Yeah, a past tense person. What are the energies? But again, it's in reverse. It's like for you, you're quite clear on that factor and you feel this is their energy. Yeah, you've made more room in your life. There's more room now for positivity. This person potentially is causing angst. I don't feel you're bothered by it. I feel you're actually, which is sad, you're quite focused on the things that make you happy and moving away from the things that don't. Yeah, there was no consistency in the situation, so you really You're really upgrading your life to a point where you're moving all of your energy onto positive things that you're trying to build that you directly do have control over. In your money domain, you're really wanting better things than what you had before. I do feel you're aligned to a position where you're looking to the distance, the future, which is the sun in in the forefront. Like, this is where you are, and that's what you're looking at. And you're looking at it going, I think the work that you've done this year is helping you set up for really being super creative. I'm going to pull a clarifier with the chakra deck. Now, the colours coming through on this card, which I do directly connect to, I do feel you're really driven. You're really driven at the moment. You're really in your sacral chakra energy. It can be a very deeply passionate time too, but you're really wanting to indulge in your senses. Yeah, you're following your instincts. You intuitively know. Again, whenever I'm saying 19, when you're rounding it down, it breaks to a 10, but it's the one before the 9, so just before the closing of that scenario. This is your Mars energy that you're actually utilising when it comes to your finances, when it comes to the people, places and things. You are more in alignment, but you're going to meditate upon these things and you're going to take direct action. So I feel with the people you invest in, especially with the above row, anything you're leaving behind, like I said, it can be an old place of work, an old group that you mixed with. This whole year for you guys, in 2019 and moving through into 2020 to 21, is deeply connected to change, especially with the eclipses. It can be because you deeply are changing and you're gaining this massive relationship with yourself. So you're deeply in alignment with who you are as a human being. I do feel you've got the strength now to achieve these targets, and I do feel you've got a lot of luck on your side. Now, with your work, I'm pulling clarifier on this because I just heard something. Okay, now you've got medicine bag in reverse, and I find this to be quite unique. You're not worried with work as much as you used to be, and this potentially could be that you're choosing, which is what I said before, choosing who you wish to work with, trusting your gut, not needing to use the Mars energy for negative or protection nature, but using your Mars for your empowerment and your drive and your creativity towards your finances, because I feel you're only merging and mixing with equal. Okay, so you won't need to, and you knowingly know this, you only match with equal. Now, when I say you only match with equal, when you've spiritually changed, it's not that we can't be. I just feel you've energetically learned to karmic lesson, and you're more in awareness and you're doing a lot of work on yourself. So you're not having this expectation on yourself to fix other people. You're really focusing on just shifting your energy, and it's giving you the allowance to actually heal you. I do feel you guys are going to have a mini break this month. Obviously, some of you will be off work due to the fact that there's Christmas and New Year's, and it's really going to help you, anchor your energy back in. But you will do a lot of meditation work, and it's not just because it's Christmas. I do see a lot of 9s coming through in all the reads, and it's to do with the manifestation of 2020, where it's more reflective than usual. I'll say that. That's what I'm intuitively picking up. So it's almost like it's divinely guided. It's supposed to happen. And once you receive these aha moments, it's like that energy becomes your core field where you're actually creating it without even knowing. So it's like you're making peace with the situation, and then you feel a lot lighter in your energy. A lot of times we can go through what we deem as ascension flu, and that's directly because we're releasing a belief system. We're releasing a painful experience emotionally, so that we are in direct alignment to go that new cycle and that new chapter. And that's really what's happening for you guys. This medicine bag is, you're also seeing that if you're merging with a person who's like-minded, you get a better outcome out of it. And that can be with your the relationships you're in. It can be with the connections and employment. the people you're working with. Like, I do feel the healing has been that you've been quite run down, but you've also been working with people who haven't been working with you, so it's directly impacted you. And you see the truth of this situation now, that it wasn't you, it was the situations, people, places and things that were directly impacting your work and your finances. Now, your family, some situation either at a 3D level, and I'm going to ask at a 3D level, what's going to happen at a 3D level? We'll go the chakra cards. At a 3D level, because this is something to do with the past. And you'll laugh at me. Now, the camera will be alternate, but with this card, we have a north, south, east, west card. When the west card comes up, I always know that for me spiritually is to do with the past. And you've also got another card, which is evil medicine, which is looking at the above. Okay. And emotional. You're very strict with this area. Very strict. I'll show you why. Okay, you got your Mars energy. So you're in your empowerment state. You're at peace with something. You know what you're worth, and you're not dealing with no BS. So with family members or groups, because family doesn't have to be DNA. It can be your children, it can be work colleagues, it can be, you know, because they can be your social circle. It can be people that you're directly mixing with, that you're deeming as tribe. It could even be partners, connections. Let's just get to the gist of it. Something from your past, I'm feeling, is coming back. This can be in a mental way, and at a mental way, your mindset is, I'm not dealing with that. I know my worth. I'm not doing this. You're in your divinity. Okay, it's a 3, which is you are balanced with masculine, feminine, and what you know you are, which is your crown chakra, Gaia, God, source. It's like you've had your light bulb moment. It's like, I know what I'm made of. And I've pulled myself in. I've dragged myself out of a grave, and I know who I am now. Now, with the 3D, I do feel if people are coming towards you with BS, you're looking at the above situation saying, I'm going to be my own mother, father figure, and I'm going to say what I need and what's good for me. You also may see other people's sides of the story, but you're rising above it and you're saying, no, I have my self-esteem. And I'm hearing sticks and stones can break my bones, but gnomes will never hurt me. It's like potentially in the past that might have been, because this is inner childhood wounds with the yellow. But it's upright, and I'm finding it to be really positive. Now, there could be an energy of people that left the home or aren't in your home or don't feel home to you, and this is the family domain. So I do feel for some of you, you're really selecting who is part of your tribe. You're really being very selective. This is really a year that you're going to be moving into a very unique place, definitely astrologically linked, where it's like the real you is coming to the forefront. The real you is coming to a place where you know who you are. It can feel strange at times because these situations are changing so much so that people will not recognize you. Your demeanor won't be the same. Your tribe won't be the same. The relationships are evolving, and it doesn't have to be that these people are leaving. It can be simply that the way you relate to each other is changing. Now, in your love domain, it's interesting because you've got medicine man, medicine woman. And again, I was picking up this equal energy being manifested towards you. It's this balance, but it's due to the fact that you're more balanced. So likewise, you will directly attract that same frequency. When we are stuck and we feel debilitated or impacted, we attract that same vibration. So when we're asking ourselves, how the devil did I create that? It's generally because it was what you felt you were worth, and it was what you were directly going on. And I do feel this is very positive. There could be engagements, there could be, but it's a merging of these two energies, both inside yourself and with another person. If you are single, this is a time frame where you can meet the one. It's also a way in which you're directly attracting what you vibrate. So, and for those of you who don't know what I mean by that, I mean our belief systems directly attract anything we believe. So once we have reached that point and we know that's who we are, we know that's what we're made of, which is our self-esteem, we directly attract that same scenario. So we attract more positive situations into our life. One more. Yeah, this can be around Christmas. It can be actually meeting a physical person, or it can be New Year's. But it's like turning over a new leaf and really moving forward. Now, the unseen is a lot of healing coming to the forefront. So this month is going to be very positive for you. There is a lot of healing, but it's you healing to the core. Now, your energy, like I said, you've got shapeshifter and reverse. You can't make this up. It's like you have stepped into your own. When you get shapeshifter, it can be where you're saying one thing but you're another. And this can be dealing with a person or you directly, right? With this being your energy, I feel you've had this light bulb moment, and it's like just uniquely being able to be who you are in that moment. You know, and years ago, somebody said to me, you don't know who you are. You haven't found who you are. And realistically speaking, if you're comfortable with who you are in this very moment, that is who you are in this very moment. It's no need to meditate upon who you were in the past and who you're going to be in the future, because we won't know till we're there. Knowing yourself is really paying attention to what makes you happy, even if it doesn't make other people happy. And I do feel you've really stepped into that, because you've got that in the reversal, which to me is super positive. It's like not changing for other people, really getting into alignment of who you directly are and what you feel is correct for you. And in the good, the bad, and the ugly, because our shadow self is making peace with that. And I do feel you've actually made peace with your shadow, which is super positive, because every one of us has, you know, shapeshifter energy where we evolve. But at the same time, the shadow self, all of us have a shadow self. It's just making peace with that, which I feel you have. Now, your next card is Circle of Life. And I'm hearing you've only just begun. And this can be a new start towards love. Also an old cycle ending. So this can occur, and it coming up in the forefront connected to this romance, especially with the crowning energy of the past tense energies coming back from the past. I do feel this cycle being directly dealt with is going to aid the situation moving forward, but I feel it's on your side of the fence, Cancer. Yeah, it's because they're stopping you from moving forward, and this is for your self-esteem, empowerment, and, you know, your energy coming through with your sacral chakra. Where did I see it? Pull a card. Too many. Okay, locking the table. Yeah, you know what this connection is. You know what you're doing. But it may be that you have this epiphany that this cycle needs to end because it's unhealthy. It can be a belief system inside yourself. It could be a direct group of people, which was above. Yeah, it's other people's healing, but it's like they're trying to block your path. They're trying to block it's their healing. That's what I was saying. See, this is the lotus flower, and at the moment it's in Aries. It's in reverse, so I'm feeling as like it's other people's energy. You know your truth. You know that, you know, you being stuck like that, it's small-mindedness, but it's old energies coming back to actually be sorted. Now, you know where you're going, okay? What is this vision and quest? Who inspires you? You know what you know, what you know. Ancestors in reverse. Vision and quest, please. Yeah, you want a fresh start. You know who this person is. They make you feel young at heart. Now, you've got ancestors in reverse, and I was looking at that and I was going, what's this about? Okay, you do have an ancestor on the other side, which potentially is a female figure, okay? This female figure could be a grandparent, could be a sister, a mother, etc., okay? Now, with this energy, what I'm saying is ancestors in reverse. you've got a lot of downloads here, right? Which I said, for Cancer, with the nodes in Capricorn and Cancer, deeply intuitive, deeply psychic. You intuitively have this connection. This person's also trying to channel you and give you some messages. They want you to follow your heart. They know who you are. They're saying, who can you be yourself with, and what do you feel is correct for you in that energy? But you know where your passion is. You know where your creativity is. I'm also saying with Ancestor in reverse, and this come up in a lot of readings I've heard on YouTube recently, especially with the nodes being in Cancer. Tribe doesn't have to be tribe. So when I say that, it's to do with the fact of there might be a bit of an ego experience here with people telling you who your family is or who your connections are, which I'm telling you, this is what's coming through to this old cycle not ending. And you're looking at this and you're saying, I know who my family is. My family are people that respect me, support me, love me. Wow. Okay, now this person's energy, who you're inquiring about, your love interest. They want this healing with you. They also want to have more. They're aware of your energy and how you're changing. They're trying to be very gentle. They also know you have the power to change things. And there's only so much they can do. They know that this is part of your spiritual journey. So pray for them in reverse. They have faith in you. They know you can heal this situation. And they're trying to respect you. And they know it's part of your journey. They also do have passion for you, but they're being very delicate with the way they're dealing with it. And they're also trying to allow you to utilize your energy on these situations, because they can see something's not working and they can see you're not passionate in old directions. So that they're being very understanding. Yeah, they're not sad. They know it's part of the process. They're watching this transpire. Okay, what is their overall energy? Yeah, they understand. They're trying to be playful with you. They want to start from the ground up. This also could be that they're looking at it, that there could be children connected, that you're meditating upon it. But there's also enemy here, okay? So there could be a situation you're dealing with. There could be a situation there, because the energies can swap in the romance house, right? So there could be energies where either side you're both looking at this from whatever's coming through, because the energies can swap. That's what I'm trying to say. So one or the other is directly looking at it this way. But I feel very supportive energy. I feel tying out of the karmic cycle, and very reflective. But do be very mindful, Cancer. Come January, even by the end of the year, you're highly guided to be very careful and very grounded, because this can be a very positive time to launch new things, but also to get as grounded as possible, because the astrology can be a little bit tough come January. So if you feel you've been a bit sluggish and, you know, not paying attention to your health, your diet, you know, and there could be things that you're using to cope with frequencies, alcohol, smoking, food, we're human. It's a time to lighten up on that, just so you'll cope with the astrology, because it can be very full-on and life-changing. Overall, I do feel your energy to be very positive. I feel you to be quite empowered. If you are wanting a private booking, you can go to the link below. Follow me on here for the moon readings. They're very different to this. And I'll try and get back on my A game to get all the videos done. And hopefully next time have makeup. But I'm very earthy today. So happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Love and light.